Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last episode, we explored an abandoned office next to our home in Core City. We fought in the arena, defeating Carnifex, not Dreadlord, who had come out of retirement, killed Dreadlord apparently in the locker room or something of the sort. In order to fight us, he had been the one and only Gary, who had been feeding us information about the other arena fighters we were to fight earlier. We beat him in a wonderful combat. We then came over here to the Institute of Chort with our little figurine retrieved from the lunatics and gave it to Efriator Danzel. He had talked with the higher-ups here at the Institute, and they agreed to interview me to see if I would be suitable for joining their cult. Their institute. Not a cult. Totally a cult. Anyway, we passed. We got through all the questions Amelia had asked us, and now we are here in our room. I think we share this bed with this gentleman, Lazy Lau. Let's go ahead and talk with him and then begin exploring quite a bit more of the Institute together. An old bald man welcomes you with a wave and a wild smile. He wears dark glasses which perfectly conceal his eyes. In turn, and smile reveals... Oh, wow. Was this... Okay. Sorry, that sentence looked weird to me. His smile reveals more than it perhaps should. You notice the man to be almost completely toothless, yet those few teeth still clinging on somehow allow him to speak with surprising clarity. Unfortunately, they do nothing to save his interocular from receiving a spit shower every time he opens his mouth, as it happens to you right now. Tortoise evolution, brother! I'm Lazy Lau. That's what they call me. Evolution is short, brother. I'm Decker. Cool. I finally get a bedmate. Bedmate? Yeah, this is our bed. He points to the double bed next to him. See? This is our bedmate. I've been sleeping alone for 2 weeks, and now I have a bedmate. Oh, you want top or bottom? I slept top so far, but if you want top, I'll go for bottom. Bottom. You stay on top. I'm not really picky. Whatever you wish, bedmate. Now you want to chat? Why'd you join the Institute of Chort? Well, bedmate, let me put it this way. If there was a chance you could, how should I say, escape the life of poverty, filth, disease, and a couple of lone hounds wanting to skin you, would you take it? Of course you would. Don't take this the wrong way, but how did you manage to get accepted? Chort just seemed pretty selective, and, you know what I mean. I don't look the part? Is that what you're trying to say, bedmate? It's true. I mean, just look at my teeth. I can scare burrowers away. But tourists don't care for the superficial. They care for what's inside. Yes, I had that interview with that smoking preposter Amelia and told her all about myself. Answered questions, done tests, gave blood and all that. Must have said something right because they just accepted me. That's what you do here at the moment. I'm a novice still. I have some combat experience, so I might go the preservation route. But I have attended some lectures and, I don't know, I still got some thinking to do. We will see. We will see. So why are you called Lazy Lau? Are you really that lazy? No, I'm not lazy. My left eye is. As soon as he finishes the sentence, he removes his shades with an elegant, overemphasized motion, closing his eyes if he wants to prolong the moment of revelation as much as possible. Then, he slowly opens his right, normal eye, pauses, and opens his left one, the bad one. You look at it. It doesn't look at you, but it is slammed so far to the left like it wants to escape the socket and see what lies behind the head. Lazy Lau laughs in his usual toothless fashion, this time spiced up with the laziest eye you've ever seen, creating a unique image you are unlikely to ever forget. He puts the shades back on. And that's why they call me Lazy Lau, bedmate. So how you liking the Institute of Chort after spending some time here? I'm loving this place more and more at every passing day. Once you get used to a few things, everything being clean is one of those. As you learn more about Chortism, you start realizing how apex it all really is. I have no doubt that Chortists are really trying to direct the evolution of mankind towards something greater. Look at the reconvents, for example. Yeah, that's the next step. All in all, I want to be part of that. I am happy to be part of that. Chort is truly something great. Chort is evolution, bedmate. Can I ask how you lost all your teeth? Or most of them, at least? Some miserable bandit knocked my teeth out and robbed me as I was going toward the Institute. In hindsight, I should have taken the train, but my inner cheapskate ended up leading me to a very nasty situation. Damn it, Underrail sucks harder than a pack of siphoners. I don't know how anyone could live here. Other than Chortus, of course. Wow, I never asked him that question with any character of mine before. Poor guy. Oh. Short guide, you lazy low. Short guide, you bedmate. And short guide my hands as I search your pockets for anything useful. Maybe we can find some teeth in here. No teeth in here. We'll take your advanced mechanical repair kit, though, and Stygian coins. Thank you, sir. That's for calling me bedmate all the time. Hey, brother. Hey, brother? Yes, brother. How are you doing? How are your pockets doing? 18 Stygian coins. We should leave everything behind before you show up here. Oh, right. We share a footlocker with him as well, I believe. We can get a robe here, but we're not going to wear that robe. It does nothing for us. Oh, I don't need some of that garbage on us. Do I have any other junk? Oh, right. I'm carrying the things from, I'm still carrying things from killing whatchamacallit on me. The Invictus. Now, you might have noticed that there was a giant door that has to unseal itself to let anyone in or out of the place. And it was shut when we first arrived. And the only reason it opened was to let Efriator Denzel out. One does not just walk into or out of the Chortus Institute. Being Institute born is a blessing. You don't get the chance to catch some horrible diseases like I did. I think there are people here we will discover. Oh, wow, look at all the drugs you have. Oh, I'm so sorry. I could really use 4 morphine shots. And you're just going to stand there and complain. We'll put them to good use, don't you worry. Hello, Jerry France, don't mind me. I'm going to look at what you got back here. Got more shelves. It's locked. Just thought I'd let you know it's locked. That was an accidental click. You know what's not locked, though? Your pockets. This might seem really awkward because I'm not talking to you right away. But we're going to check your pockets first. 24 Stygian coins sounds good. Thank you, sir. An unexpectedly tiny and shy voice comes out of this lofty man. While he's loud enough for you to hear him, you can't shake off the feeling that the sound of a humble fly gliding into the room would overpower his voice. Fortunately, nothing similar happens during his introduction. Chortus Evolution. My name is Jerry France, and I'm the investigator of medicine and the Institute's proto-physician. You must be Decker. Usually our fellow Chortus refer to me as I am, to which I have no objection. Now, how may I help you? Where can I purchase medicine? I can help you with that, brother. I'll show you what I have. Okay, what do I need? I don't really need much from him. He doesn't have. He has 5. Morphine's the only thing I think I would want from him. And you know what? I could probably use 5 more of it. Let's take it. So, how and why did you join the Institute, Mr. Franz? It's a long story. Go on. I have time. I became a Chortus about 7 years ago, either in year 92 or 93, one of the two, and it was all due to a single fortunate event of me meeting with a former colleague of mine who had just returned from South Underrail, where he was on some, well, private business of his. Oh yes, I forgot to mention that I am from North Underrail, and that meeting also took place there, in Dis, to be precise. Thomas Harding, the man I spoke with, informed me how dreadful the living conditions were in the South, of persistent and ever-growing bandit menace, poverty, as well as the rise of violent sports in Core City. Naturally, the bottom line is that the South is a place of decadence and should be avoided at all costs. Decadence? Bandit menace, poverty, and violent sports doesn't sound like decadence to me. Except, there was one thing he mentioned in a positive light. Institute of Chort. He had the, in his words, pleasure to speak to several Chortists during his stay here in Upper Underrail, and in fact one of those Chortists was none other than Minister Percival himself. Well, assistant minister back then. Tom was impressed by what he learned about the body of knowledge the Chortists possess and their intentions of changing, evolving the human future. He also told me about the duality of Chort. One side is the physical side, the being itself, and the other is the knowledge obtained through scientific methods. The only way possible, really. I still remember Tom's words. Explanations and praises of the Institute of Chort. The first time he told me about Chort itself, and especially due to his fantastic way with words, floored me. But this isn't Chort. I was astonished. Of course, all that sparked my imagination, and I decided I had to come to South Underrail. So I did. I still remember seeing the Rassifors at the entrance, all glorious in their beautiful robes. Sure, it wasn't usual, but once you understand the purpose of such appearance, it all makes sense. Perfect sense. Do you know what happened next, brother? I became a proud Chortist, and still am, to this day. Chort is evolution. Thomas seemed very impressed with Chortism. Where is he now? Did he also join the Institute? Jer Franz's face turned sour. Tom was unfortunately mortally wounded soon after we spoke. Free drones bombing attack. Many were killed by those corrupted inbred distrust. Had he lived a bit longer, I'm sure he would have joined me here. I'm positive. What do you think of the Faceless? Foul, corrupted beings. I sympathize with Core City residents who have to endure being close to such disgusting creatures. Chort help them. In the end, the augmented monstrosities will die out eventually, while all completely natural beings like us will live on, for it is a superior design. Proven. Chort guides you, dear Franz. Chort guide you too, brother. Are they really natural if they are indeed adjusting their DNA? I think that's what they do when they're able to improve Chort. They get a sample of it to use themselves, or some of them do, such as the recombinants. That Priophore there, by the way, has psychic powers as well, apparently, thanks to the purple bar. I wonder what... I don't remember very well what the Chortists actually know. It'd be really neat if some of the, in the higher difficulty levels, maybe some of these psionics know temporal manipulation abilities. That could be interesting if they give themselves haste, for example. I don't think they do, though, right? I don't think they do. Alright, well, we're done with this side. I think we were told to go to the east side off the hallway, and on the second floor is where we would find the library. On the bottom floor down here would be the canteen. Let's do what we were asked to do, or hinted at what we should do first. Which is go to the library. Yeah, look at the recombinant. It's pretty awesome. Chort, guide you, brother. You think they have voice modulators to make them sound like the Space Marines as well? Just make them that much more awesome? Thanks for the adrenaline. Mr. Recombinant? Or Mr. Recombinant? We can't really tell. Thank you for returning the Reaching Man, brother. Thank you for... Ooh, bullets. Do I need bullets? We do. Thank you for your 70 bullets, brother. Interesting. If I remember correctly, the recombinants have incredible amounts of armor on them, and they wield sledgehammers as well. It's been a while since I had to fight them. You know we're going to search every vase. We need to search every vase. There might be an audio item in one of these. I don't think there is, but we're still going to check. We want to go to the left. I love how they have these different names as well. It is very cult-like how this entire place operates, using different names to describe their military or their ranks. that normal people wouldn't use, referring to everyone outside as inbreds, what have you, making them feel like they're a part of the other and whatnot. It's really well done, the writing for the Chortists. And they, of course, believe themselves not to be a cult because they don't pray. They're not religious. There is absolutely cults that don't require a god to exist. Join preservation if you have the guts. Remember that we are also here not to really... Well, we are going to do a bunch of side quests for them. But that's not our objective. We're supposed to find... that polyhedron that they took. Aiden's here! Really? Reading. Can't talk. I have to know. I have to know if Aiden has the key to the elevator on him. I have to know. He does. We will take it. So we can go to Deep Caverns now if we think we're set. We can skip all of the Institute if I so wish now. Aiden's library is not the place to make small talk, brother. But it is the place to take small things, like whatever in your pockets. You have a fishing hook on you in your pockets and a net. Where's the fishing around here? I think Aiden can show up in random locations here, checking up on things. So this was kind of lucky, or perhaps not so lucky, that he was here. We did take the key. The curator might help you if you're looking for something specific. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something, in general, but you moved away, so we can't search your pockets for something in general. I'll search this short torch. Actually, I am looking for something specific, whatever's in your pockets, and I don't think she can help you with that. The woman, upon noticing you approach, puts her hand on her chest and salutes you. Her voice is quiet, almost a whisper, yet it sounds perfectly clear and understandable thanks to the almost unreal silence within the library. Chort is evolution. Welcome to Aiden's library, brother. I am Curator Nina. Can I help you with anything? Can you tell me something about the library's history? I can give you some brief information, yes. This room we are currently in was the library from the very day the building was constructed. While it was much smaller, I should say humbler in regards to the available information, it was nevertheless just as integral as the Institute to Chort as it is today, embracing all those who seek knowledge with wide open arms. Sadly, the great earthquake turned it, as well as the whole west wing, into rubble back in year 24. Most physical copies of the library contained were destroyed, with only a few salvaged copies retrieved from the rubble. What a waste. Of course, Aiden knew that the library had to be restored to its previous glory, so according to his will, the library was rebuilt within a relatively short period of time. Institute members named the library in his honor, and it remains so until this day. I hope that is the answer you sought. Was there anything else you wish to ask me? What can you tell me about this library? Aiden's library is the major repository of information for the Institute to Chort. The library's database offers over 6 million pages of textual content, ranging from both contemporary and historical works in different scientific fields, as well as preserved works of literary arts, journals, documents, and other. Most of it is in digital form, accessible to all members at any time, but there is also a significant number of physical copies which, due to their rarity as well as the fragility of the medium, require special permissions. It goes without saying that Aiden's library contains the single most important, most monumental document in the history of Chortism, the original report, written by none other than Aiden himself. Being a novice, You are advised to start with the original report before moving on to more current short-related works. What is the original report? The original report was written 100 years ago while Aiden first discovered Chort in the dark depths of the deep caverns. This short text describes the event itself, Aiden's original discoveries and thoughts. Essentially, it narrates the genesis of Chortism. If you haven't read it still, brother, do so as soon as possible. And I am completely honest here, have read it in uncountable amount of times, and I am most certainly not the only one to have done so. Chort guide you, Nana. And you too, brother. Read well. Well, why don't we go ahead and read that report? Welcome to Aiden's library, brother. Today's quote, present actions, build future. Aiden. Important dates. So when they say year 24, they're talking about the number of years elapsed since the Institute was founded, as we can see in year 1. I'm going to skip over reading this. There's quite a bit here. I don't believe any of it's really that important, to be honest, but it does give you quite a bit of lore about the Institute. It begins showing you that the Institute also skirmished with the Faceless at some point and lost a few members in doing so, but they were able to repulse or take over some sections, I think, of the deep caverns from them. Now let's look at the original report. Oh, and also, you might find it interesting that we are just about to enter year 100. The original report. This one, I guess, we'll read. By Aiden Travers. I was the only one still alive from the expedition, as I found myself before this gigantic metal gate which stood closed and seemingly impenetrable. I began to ponder the most recent events, sure that these moments were to be my last, for the whole expedition was doomed from the start. It has been many years since Hollow Earth was left to rust in the forbidding bowels of deep caverns. Biocorp had only begun to recuperate from the damage it suffered during the split when technocrats called me into their office. They explained to me that they wished to unearth, pardon the expression, several abandoned but not forgotten projects from Hollow Earth, and salvage that which can be salvaged from the once impressive research complex. Biocorp desired this expedition in hopes of at least slowing down its decline, which started years ago, and wasn't about to stop. Internal struggles only worsened the situation. Of course, due to the severity of the task, it could not be entrusted to just anyone. A senior scientist of my qualifications and experience was to lead the expedition, since only someone like that could be allowed to lay eyes on some of the most sensitive information Biocorp ever possessed. I accepted. I was truly excited to be going into deep caverns, and despite being familiar with how hostile the environment was, I cared very little for that fact. On the contrary, I viewed it as a new opportunity, a new high point in my career, and trusted our survival into the hands of Captain Sagan's men without overthinking it. Few of my scientist colleagues were also to follow me on this mission, and once all parties were ready, we made our descent. Into death. At least for most of us. Environment had changed significantly between the Hollow Earth incident and the moment of our arrival, even more than we expected. Environmental hazards, natural predators in the form of horrid and surprisingly alien creatures, as well as other unexplained phenomena, were quick to decimate us. Bullets can stop beasts, but for how long? Hazard suits can save us from toxic fumes and corrosive liquids, but for how long? Reaching the main complex soon proved to be mission impossible. The immediate way to the east was blocked by an impenetrable cave-in, so we had to circumvent it by going to the north. After taking the first few steps toward our goal, we already found ourselves under siege by death itself, and it sated its hunger quickly. Luckily, before it got to me. I was the only one still alive from my expedition. We fled north and found refuge by one of the large gates. Rust, mold, and demise were in the oxygen-devoid air, as well as some strange pulsating sensation which violently pressed on my skull. Poor Captain, the only one still with me, was lying in a corner and was slowly fading away, with last bits of life leaving his mangled body, surrendering it to decay. He performed his duty to his very last breath. I was ready for the same fate, but then the large gates opened. Light illuminated the area. A strange pain from my head was instantly gone. While the lights weren't as bright as the ones in university, it was much better than the dwindling glow of my last flare. I stepped through the gate and faced something I wasn't prepared for. I faced it. It was giant. It was alien. It was formless. Strange creature was before me, and I had no clue of its origin or intentions, or really anything. All I could see is pure flesh with tentacles sprouting from it in all their glory. The sensation in my head returned, but this time it wasn't trying to kick down the door to my mind. Instead, it gently knocked. I answered politely. Chort was the only thing I could interpret during this peculiar exchange of thoughts, for everything else can simply be described as just some strange feeling in my head. During my 3-week stay, I was allowed by Chort to study it. Leftover equipment I was able to find in these old labs I combined with some of my own utilities and was able to set up an improvised laboratory, which was most excellent. Regarding nourishment, I still had my own personal supplies, up to a point in time. Afterwards, I had to rely on natural sources. This is what I had learned during my stay before I finally left Chort and returned back, certain that what I had found was an extraordinary discovery of unimaginable importance. Chort can be defined as a large, multicellular organism of unknown age, but judging from its genetic makeup, it is primordial. While it shares a lot of common sequences with living beings ranging from the first single-cell organism up to modern mammals, it is not directly related to us in any way. We do not have a clear common ancestor. How is that possible? Well, that I'm about to explain. The creature can enter a state of unique type of regeneration cycles in which it loses any recognizable form and undergoes genetic self-repair. It puzzled me how and why it does so, but I had answers faster than I thought I would. Chort has a remarkably similar cell and DNA structure to us. The number of chromosomes and genes is indeed different, but a lot of recognizable sequences can be found there. The part of its genome that was non-coding was larger than in humans, and by studying it, I have learned the answer to those 2 questions I had asked myself previously. Whenever the creature begins suffering from any form of mutations, chromosomal deterioration, or even cancer, it can alter its aforementioned state of regeneration. It might do so in case when the environment changes drastically and new traits are necessary to survive. I was even able to pinpoint the gene responsible for this. Now, what happens when the creature begins regenerating is this. Its non-coding part of the genome, which can be in Chort's case considered something of a genetic backup, begins coding for proteins, which in turn change and rebuild the whole chromosome, even up to the telomeres. How it knows what sort of adaptation it needs to survive in the new environment is not yet clear, nor how it is able to recombine or even create these new sequences. But even this was a magnificent find, and raised another question. Can this be applied to humans or other living creatures as well? Due to the similarity of the DNA structure, the answer might as well be yes. And with that, many other questions sprang to my mind. Could we too use what we learned from Chort and adapt ourselves at will? Could we live infinitely? Would we be able to control our own evolution and strive towards a goal unimaginable before? Could we finally return to the surface world? I wanted answers, and for that I was going to need time and support. As I had given Chort a final look before I left, hoping that it wasn't going to really be the last time, it became clear in my mind what I must do. My return to university as a lone survivor turned out to be quite interesting, and can best be described as an end to one thing and the beginning of the other. End of original report. Chort guide you, brother. Chort guide you to library terminal console window. Aiden, let us talk with you. I think I'm saying his name correct. Or Eden? I think it's Aiden. A nightmarish visage stares at you with its barren eyes. Tentacle-like extensions hanging from the lower part of the mask only add to the already intimidating sight. While it is only that, a mask, it seems natural to wonder if what is beneath it could be even more frightening. This tall, imposing figure is Aiden, founder of the Institute of Chort. There is no doubt about it. He wears a long, decorated robe that exhibits a ghastly flow with every move he makes, all of which are controlled and deliberate. Also, a symbol of an eye with 5 tentacles growing out of it stamps the robe with the highest rank you've seen any of the Chortists have. He lowers his head to look at you, and delivers his words in a profoundly deep voice, only slightly impeded by his terrifying mask. Chort is evolution, Decker. We finally meet. I would like to officially introduce myself. I am Aiden. I never had the opportunity to thank you for returning the set piece to Institute of Chort. If it had stayed in the hands of the devolved, I would have been greatly disappointed. Well done. Evolution is short. I retrieve the figurine in your name, illustrious Aiden. In that I have no doubt, Decker. We rarely get to witness such valiant effort from those who have yet to become a part of our institution. I apologize, but I cannot speak to you at this time. There is some data I must urgently go through here in the library. We will continue our conversation at a more appropriate time. I will not disturb you. Chort guide you, Aiden. Chort guide us all, Decker. Seems friendly enough. Alright, where else should we go? I don't know. So, this is the West Wing, which we were warned not to go to. We don't know what's down here. There's no guard posted, so why don't we go ahead and see what's down there? I think we will be warned if we're not allowed in an area. I have no doubt that what we're here for is actually in a well-guarded area. The rest of our guard motions you to stop. Stop, brother. The area behind us is blocked off due to earthquake damage. Oh, how much damage did the earthquake do? Well, before the earthquake struck, there was only a small room behind the door at the end of the corridor. Now that wall fell down and revealed an opening into an abandoned station. It is all ruined. Nothing of use there. We've locked the door to keep anyone from going there by accident, but it also serves as an obstacle should something try to come to us. You really think that a locked door will prevent something from getting in? By Chort, no. But slow down enough for us to summon reinforcements? Yes. In any case, we are ready and alert. Also, we are in a lot better position here, I believe, than our Rassifor colleagues guarding the West Wing entrance. I shouldn't be laughing. Chort guide you, brother. Chort guide you. Alright, not allowed. Oh, what the heck? Not allowed. What the heck? Not allowed done that way. But right-clicking was bringing up a lot of optional menus, apparently. No, it's not a locked door, so I'm guessing we're allowed in here. I don't see any cameras, so I guess we're allowed to rifle through the shelves. Which we should always do, because we're looking for oddie items. And while there was one in there, we've already studied it the 2 times we're allowed to study it. Hello! Biocorp University Emblem. This is an emblem of the Biocorp University. In the days of old Biocorp, students probably sewed it onto their clothes. 1 oddie point. 1 more, and we will be level 27? 27. Maybe there's an edible oddity in one of these freezers? No, completely empty. Well, let's see what's down here. Again, I think we will be warned if we're not allowed to be in an area. Oh! Okay. We're probably not allowed to actually be here. That's a canteen, and we're behind a door which the symbol is red. Are we allowed down here? The guard motions you to hold still, then speaks to you in a firm voice. Hail, brother! You have entered a restricted area. I will have to ask you to leave. What is this area? Didn't you hear what I said, brother? Leave this area. I'm sorry, I'm new here. It won't happen again. Chort guide you. Chort guide you. I'm not allowed to be there. So, what's currently going through our head is that if the cube is here, it might be in that area. We should still investigate more of this institute since we made our way inside. Besides, we only need one more odd experience point to level up. We'll find it someplace in here. By the way, everyone, this entire episode's probably only going to be dialogue. I don't think we will be doing a whole lot, if any, combat. It's all going to be speaking to various members, picking up side quests, and exploring for oddities. I don't think anyone's got any other symbol but the eye symbol we've already seen. Yeah, I don't think there's any unique oddities on any of these folks. But we took quite a few points in pickpocketing, so you better believe we're going to use it whenever we get a chance to do so. George guides you, brother. Thank you, sir. Don't mind me. Let's want to check your pockets and check the vase behind you. $20. Thank you for contribution to saving the world. Oh God! That vase was a red vase. The symbol was red. It's a good thing there was nothing in there, or we would have had combat right there. Seek Midian Samuel. He wishes to speak with you. I should be a little more careful. I just assumed I could search that vase. That vase is very special to that gentleman right there. Episcopos Lydia. You come up to a... Oh! She has like a unique portrait. I never remember seeing this before. You come up to a slim, middle-aged woman who welcomes you to her office with an indistinct gaze. While her attractive face, marked by prominent green eyes, has an even, almost wrinkle-free appearance, her loose, deeply lidded neck is an honest indicator to her true age. Her voice is calm and collected, and only slightly rough on the edges. Additionally, more than one thing about her appearance and behavior seems familiar to you, but you cannot immediately figure out why. Chort is evolution. May I help you? Evolution is Chort. I'm Decker, and I had some questions for you if you have the time. Decker. Yes, I know exactly who you are. I am Episcopos Lydia. Welcome to my office. I have very little time to chat, so I ask of you to make your questions brief and concise as possible. Now, what is it you need of me, Decker? I will leave you now, your eminence. Chort guide you. Chort guide you, brother. Come back if we have anything to talk with her about. I think she might be Amelia's mother. Remember, the Institute's been here for 100 years, so people have been born and raised here entirely without ever being outside. Just looking for oddities. There's nothing in those file cabinets. Ooh, the robes of Provost of Vladin look amazing. Oh, he's got a unique portrait too. So does Judicator Azarius. Can I search their pockets? The instant you make your presence known, the two men turn their heads towards you. Without hesitation, the one in the highly decorated black robes, a skinny-faced man in his late 50s, addresses you with a determined yet smooth voice. Excuse me, brother. I do not know who you are, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave this office. Judicator Azarius and I are in the middle of an important discussion, and we really cannot afford to be interrupted. The other man, appearing to be of similar age, is quick to join in. His round, wrinkled face, which has a stern expression ever since you came in, quickly turns red. His voice is only slightly deeper, but noticeably harsher, even a bit strained than the other man's, making him sound much more imposing. Magnificent Chort! What is the meaning of this audacious intrusion? How dare you barge into Provost's office like that? Please calm down, Judicator. Remember what Brother Jarrah Franz told you about getting upset? Think of your health. Also, come to think of it, I believe this young man here is the novice who retrieved the Reaching Man from the feral lunatics. Which, of course, does not give him the right to, as you say, barge into my office. He smiles. Still, we can forgive him for this act under the assumption that he never repeats it again. Correct, novice? The Judicator calms down. If you say so, Vladin. I mean, your great honor. But were this my office, an act of disrespect as such as this would not be tolerated so lightheartedly, I assure you. I have no doubt in your word, Judicator. He smiles. Now, young novice, I will ask you again, politely, to leave our discussion. Thank you. Very sorry to have interrupted you. I will leave this office at once, Provost, Judicator. Troy guide you both. Apology accepted. We will forget this ever happened. Troy guide you, novice.
Darn it! I can't search the pockets!
Not allowed in that door without getting yelled at. Maybe this one? Amelia! We'll talk to the cutie. Hello. Decker, I am very pleased to see you. What can I do for you? I was wondering, Prospector Amelia, can you tell me more about the West Wing? The West Wing was in ruins long before the existence of the Institute of Chort and was always sealed off from the rest of the building. When the great earthquake of year 24 struck and demolished the library, refectory, and a good part of the main hall, a discussion took place about whether to restore the West Wing together with everything else. Since the Institute building is very large, and especially back when the number of members was smaller, there was no need to rebuild the severely damaged West Wing. It would take away too many resources from other more important things. Therefore, the entrance to it was sealed again while other damaged sections were repaired. As years passed, various creatures found their homes in the darkness of the West Wing. People began complaining about scratching sounds coming from the walls, hearing strange voices calling them. Some even mentioned seeing the faces looking at them from the ventilation grates or other lightless openings. Of course, some of these were just wild exaggerations and outstanding interpretations conjured up by petrified minds. But the fact that the West Wing wildlife had expanded was a real, proven issue. In year 67, more than 40 years after the West Wing had been demolished, a Razzifor expedition led by Ephriator Gromus was dispatched to cull the overpopulated wildlife. The operation was a success. For a time. Culling was going as planned for 2 days. It was slow and methodical due to the West Wing's size and danger factor. Then after 2 days, contact was lost with the whole expedition. Only one Razzifor returned, mutilated beyond recognition. The poor man dragged the upper half of his severed body back to the checkpoint, but only just. He died moments after seeing his brothers and sisters watching him in horror. The cut that severed his body in half was astoundingly clean, and to this day no one is sure what creature was capable of managing something like that. The West Wing was closed and remained closed for 30 more years until it was opened recently. Pardon me, I should have shortened the story, but there's something fascinating about it, something mysterious. Oh. Did you have any more questions? Could you tell me more about yourself, Amelia? I'm sorry, Decker, but I would rather not speak of myself. The only thing I'm willing to tell you is that I am Institute-born, and I have been a dedicated Chortist for the entirety of my life. Do you have any other questions, novice? No, Chort guide you, Praepostor. Chort guide you, Decker. The last time we hit on a girl, she was killed. So, and well, actually, the 2 times, one time she died, the other time she tried to kill us. There's a palm bracelet here. What is this? A floral bracelet that wraps around the palm and the middle finger, made from a synthetic viscoelastic material that provides both flexibility during hand motion and rigidity when unstressed by movement. Perhaps one of the wealthier merchants would be interested in it. We'll take it as a memento of Amelia. Oh, nope, not allowed in that door. Actually, we're not allowed in it, but can we... Is it locked? If it is, it stays locked. We don't get caught messing around with that. All right, darn it. Probably all sorts of oddities in that room, but we don't have stealth, so we're not able to. We're not able to just open the doors and not get detected, unlike Garrett. Nice, your combat's working out. With some Stygian coins, you won't need those. I don't think you'll need the charms you have on you either, Mr. Recumbent. No, you won't.
Darn it, I'm not allowed to search
Any of those barrels? Thank you for returning the Ricci Man, brother. Ah, no problem. Thank you for letting me rifle through your pockets. I really appreciate it. Can only study that eye oddity once. Start me one more experience point. We're not gonna find it. Well, rather, we're not gonna get it this episode, probably. So close. Join preservation if you have the guts. That's where we're located, by the way, I believe. This is Mediator Samuel's office, if I recall. Before we go in, we're gonna search all the pockets for all these people. No, because 15,700 charons might not be enough to buy everything that we want. And I have another 15,000 or close to it left in a locker back in our home. Just because it seems a bit ridiculous carrying 30-something thousand charons with me. Where'd all that go? Efriator Hana. Decker, Meteor Samuel wishes to see you. He's in his office with Efriator Danzel. Oh, we're not even allowed to talk with her at the moment. She is the merchant for the Institute. Am I allowed behind your desk? I am. A key. The armory key. Can we take it? We can. It probably unlocks this door, but we're not going to be able to do that unless we start combat with the shortists, which I am not intending to do. Before you even had the chance to say anything, one of the two men points at you and speaks in a familiar, enthusiastic voice. Ah, Decker! Good to finally show up. I mean, the Mediant and I were just discussing how you retrieved the Ricci Man from the clutches of those devolved inbrids, and... The Efriator is cut short by a resolute voice coming from the other man, one whose different and arguably more elaborate uniform markings introduce as someone of superior rank in the Torch's hierarchy than Efriator Danzel. One of the symbols, an eye with three equidistant tentacles sprouting out of it, is similar to the one on Efriator Danzel's, barring the extra tentacle. Silence, I have heard it already. Our beloved, and our brother already knows it from first-hand experience, no? Decker, I am Mediant Samuel, the second in command of preservation forces of the Institute of Chort. Welcome to my office. Chort is evolution. Salute him by putting your hand on your chest and taking a slight bow. I see you are learning very fast. I like that. Quick adaptation. Now I need you to wait a few moments for me to finish with the Efriator and send him away. This won't take long. Your notability? Mediant, I don't understand what you mean. Send me away? Then let me explain it, Efriator. As soon as we're done here, you are going to take your Razaford unit and lead them to patrol the upper Underrail. Routes W1 through N5. The theft of the Ricci Man revealed how susceptible we are to having our couriers intercepted by the likes of lunatics and other inbred lowlives. I want the area surrounding the Institute secure at all times. At all times. Infuriation seeps from the Efriator. His body language reveals it, yet just before replying to the Mediant, he calms down as if ice-cold water was poured on his head. With the anger washed away, what is left is but great distress. Your notability. I worked hard with Decker to locate and retrieve the Ricci Man, to bring it back in time for the anniversary, as is my duty to the Institute, to Aiden and to Chort. You realize that? Yes, I know you do. Yet I'm rewarded for my hard work by being sent on a meaningless patrol? Hard work. Don't make me laugh, Efriator. If idling away in front of the Institute gate and waiting for a passerby, a complete stranger, to ask for help constitutes as hard work, then by all means you deserve a promotion, no? Perhaps you could even replace me if that is what you desire. It is not how it happened, Mediant. I was... if you... Silence! I don't want to hear another word from you, Efriator. Did you really think that your babbling and bootlicking would make me forget how the whole situation was handled? Yes. Even though the figurine is back in our hands, it is not because of you, because of a chain of very fortunate events. And the help of Decker, who, by the Chort, did a lot more than you. Now, out! You have your orders, Efriator. Chort guide you. overflowing with disappointment, the Efriator leaves with a barely audible farewell. Chort guides you, your nobility. Decker, I'm really sorry you had to take part in this. I have zero tolerance for such. I don't even know how to describe it. Incompetence. That is an adequate term. Now you, on the other hand, are exactly the opposite. You adapted yourself to the situation at hand beautifully, cold lunatic vermin, and retrieved the valuable figurine and achieved your goal. You became a member of our beautiful institution. Perfect. Survival of the fittest at its best, no? I think it's important to point out that Immediate Samuel decided to... crap, what's the word to describe it? Berate Denzel in front of us. Man, that's rough. Being pointed out and yelled at in such a manner in front of someone. And probably done for show, as to humble him even more, and to show, and probably for media to show how happy he was with us, as this last paragraph had also does. Now, I've been dying to meet you. Not literally, of course. Let's leave that to someone else. I have work for you, a test, if you will. But if you had some questions before we start, feel free to ask them now. Medium Samuel, what can you tell me about preservation? Preservation is one of the Institute's divisions, the one concerned with preserving Chort. This institution and all of its members, our Rasifors, are among the best trained troops in Underrail. Only we haven't had the chance to show it to outsiders, no? How does one become a Rasifor? First thing is dedication to the Institute of Chort and its ideology. Without it, everything else becomes meaningless. Second is hard work and rigorous training. Without it, one will not be able to perform his duties within preservation forces. Third and final is adaptation to any and all situations that Rasifors might encounter. I think that covers everything, no? Can I ask, when did you join the Institute of Chort and why? I'm afraid I dislike discussing that subject, brother. I respect that. In that case, I'd like to ask you a different question. By all means, do so, brother. About that work you said you had for me. Yes. I can see you're interested in becoming a part of preservation, no? If I get the chance to slay lunatics, faceless, or other vermin, count me in. Wonderful! I was hoping for an enthusiastic response, and I wasn't let down. Now listen, I have a simple job for you. You are aware of the destructive force that was the recent earthquake. It did terrible damage throughout Underrail. Unfortunately, the Institute wasn't spared from its wrath either. One of the walls in the utility section a couple of levels below us has collapsed, revealing a passage to the long-abandoned Harpocrates station. Minor damage, all things considered, which is lucky for us. However, it poses a security risk. As you may have already guessed, it was actually recently discovered, for the breach happened in one of the locked rooms no one entered for a long time. We hadn't noticed what happened until... well, I can't remember who it was, but someone went there and witnessed the chaos. Naturally, a Rasifor unit was dispatched to scan the area, and it was free of threats at the time. When we later checked some of the old plans, however, we noticed that Utility Station 7, west of Harpocrates' main hall, has a long tunnel leading somewhere far away. Pipeline goes through it, so the plans show, but I'm worried about something else coming through. You understand me, no? I need someone to explore that utility station and secure it. Someone. He smiles. I'll check that utility station. Just tell me how to get there. Go down the stairs by Aiden's library and you'll see a couple of Rasifors. They will give you the key and let you go through the station. There's another set of stairs further to the right, but do not go there. It's actually a utility area which suffered a few gas leaks after the earthquake and is currently unsafe. That's the area we had wandered in and were told to leave. Medium Samuel is not telling us the truth. That is all for now, brother. Come back here once you are sure the area is secure. Chort guide you. Perform the Chort salute. Chort guide you too, Mediant. We will do that, though, probably in the next episode, assuming we're done with all the speaking, which we might not be. The young woman welcomes you by putting her hand on her chest and follows with a verbal greeting. Her bright and high-pitched voice sounds pleasant and matches her petiteness perfectly. On the other hand, the full combat uniform that she is wearing, complete with a mask she never removes, a characteristic you notice in all Rasifors throughout the Institute, creates a different, if conflicting, visual image. Chorta's evolution. I am Efri Torhana, Armory Keeper for the Institute of Chort. You're Decker, if I'm not mistaken. Evolution is Chort. Yes, I am him. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you too, Decker. Under Median Sentinel's direct orders, you are allowed access to Preservation's armory, despite the fact you are not a Rasifor. Yet. Of course, armory access is not free, so prepare some charons before making a purchase. Let me see what you have for sale. So this, I'm going to say something that I don't know is accurate, but I think it might be. I think this used to be one of the best merchants you could purchase equipment from in the game. And actually, she's selling 30 armor-piercing rounds and 30 JHP rounds. I can't think of why I wouldn't purchase them. That's amazing. The armor she has won't be better than what I currently have. And I don't think she's going to be selling any barrels. Only one barrel. Do I need more batteries? I do not need more batteries. We're good. Okay. Decent stuff. And everyone, we've played for almost an hour, so I think we probably should stop here, honestly. It's been almost, yeah, I think we're playing for 56 minutes at this point. So we'll stop here, and when we come back, we will do more talking. We still have to investigate all of the investigation laboratories here. There are 3 of them, with multiple people in them we want to talk to. And I will probably do the rest of the pickpocketing off screen. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching this, everyone, and take care.